Hey, 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 hey. Hey, everybody. Happy Monday. Happy Monday, wherever you are right now on the planet. I hope that you are feeling well with yourself. And if you're not, we get ready to take some of that time back. We're going to recalibrate. Yes, we are. We're going to make you feel good. We're going to get into some breath work before we get in our conversation. That's what we do. We're going to make you feel good. It's Make It Make Sense Monday. And there's some things that we need to make sense, okay? We need to make it make sense, guys. There's a whole lot of conversation out here. A lot of conversation about high value man, high value woman, high value this, what you bring it to the table, what you bring it to the table, what high value. What is your value? What is considered high value? What is it? And I got a question. I got a question. Do you have some high value skills? That's what you need to be talking about. We need to be talking about high value skills. So let's have a high value conversation today. I want you to come on in here. Come on here. Come on in. Yeah. Now, admission is not free. No, you cannot come in here for free. No, admission is common sense. So if you got common sense, come on in. That's what we're going to be using today. Yes, it is. All right. It's noontime. It's lunchtime. It's my time. So what we're going to do, we're going to recalibrate some of that time, take it back. Shake off a little bit of that thing that maybe somebody got up under our skin, somebody got up under our nerves. Maybe it was your boss, maybe it was a co-worker, but we're going to breathe that thing out. We're going to breathe it out. So I hope you're ready to do it. You know how we do it. You know how we do it. Get in it. What I want you to do is inhale to the count of 4. And we're going to hold it for a few seconds. And then we're going to exhale. And we'll hold that for a few seconds. And we'll repeat that a few times. Now, you can close your eyes if you're in a place that you can do that. And I want you to do that if you're driving. Don't do that if you're driving. Don't do that if you're actually sitting at the desk. If you got your head pods on and you're taking a listen, we'll vibrate with us and listen. But if you can close your eyes, close your eyes. You want to take it a step further, put your hands over your heart and feel that. You are alive. That's you. Let's get into it. Inhale to the count of 4. Hold that a few seconds. Exhale. Hold that a few seconds. Inhale again. Hold that a few seconds. Exhale. One more time. Let's inhale. Hold it a few seconds. And exhale. Yeah. Doesn't it feel great? It feels real good. You know you feel good. That little woo-saw, you know? Just get your mind right. Get your mind right because you need your mind right for right now. You need it for this conversation. We're having a conversation and it's very serious. It really is. Everybody's out here talking about finding a high value mate, high value man, high value woman, you know, and the point of the matter is, do you have some high value skills at where we are right now with the state of the economy, with the state of our nation, with the state of the world? You need to have some skills, okay? And whatever it is that you choose to be valuable to you is really what's it about, is really what this thing is about. I think too many people are jumping into this conversation. I think they're making this high value conversation that an interpretation of what other people consider high value. I think they're putting too much into it. And we need to back off of it a little bit. We need to back up and refocus and figure out what our values are. All right. I told you what a mission was to get into this show today, to get on in here. Mission is common sense. Yes, we're using common sense in here today. And they say common sense ain't common no more. Well, I got some left. I don't know about you, but I got some left. And I hear that some of y'all been dying to have conversations where you can put yours to use. So come on in. Come on in. Let's make it make sense Monday On the Noontime My Time podcast, we are spreading knowledge, ideas, positivity, uplifting messages because we're investing in ourselves, our children, and our communities. Happy Monday, y'all. It's the Noontime My Time podcast. This is episode 49. I got to give it up. Let's give some snaps and some claps for the 4-9. You know, I challenged myself. So I feel pretty good about this episode. Why? Because not so very long ago, at the beginning of March, I challenged myself to say, you know what? See if you can do a podcast daily for at least 3 months. Try it. See if you can do it. So that has been my challenge. And I've been here with you guys every day since March 1st. And a lot of you guys have been coming in here with me and sharing this with me. And I got to thank you. I appreciate it. And I want to give up to some people who are always here vibing with me a lot of these days. All right, let's give it up for Keep the Faith with Tori. Good afternoon, Tori. She's coming in here, y'all, from D-Town. Give it up for D-Town, Darlington, South Carolina. Darlington in the building. I know it's beautiful over there. I know it's beautiful over there because you're so close to where I'm at, and it's beautiful here. All right. I also want to give it up to Mary Fonda Hines. Yeah, she's saying good afternoon. Good afternoon to you, lady. Know you're down in sunny FLA. All right. Beautiful day to be alive, guys. And it's a beautiful day, and it's a good time for us to have this conversation. I'm glad that you decided to join me because we need to be having a conversation that really revolves around practical tips and practical goals that are going to allow us to understand how we can take care of ourselves, find success both personally and professionally. So that's whether you're just starting out and looking to take on a career or go to the next level, whether you're looking to switch careers. I feel like this is a good conversation to listen in on and a good conversation to join in on because everybody's got something to share. Everybody has an experience. And so we've got to do that. You're out here trying to achieve some dream. You want to achieve your dream. So let's talk about it. We need to. Conversations matter, right? I've got a few questions for you guys, but I also want to let you know that I feel a particular way about everybody having these high value mate type conversations. I'm getting tired of hearing it. I am. And I'm getting tired of people having the wrong interpretation because only you can determine what is high value to you. And it is my hope that high value is not just about money to you. Let me tell you something. You need to have some high value in your mind, some high value in your heart, some high value with your health. Is your health of a high value? Because if and when you get sick, let me tell you something. This whole high value thing, this whole high value man, money, if you're putting high value only into the money aspect of it, that's not going to do anything for you. I hope you have some high value principles. That makes a whole lot of sense to me. Yeah, that's what makes sense to me. The importance of gaining high value skills, well, that's important because you want to be able to have a skill that pay the bill. You need to be able to invest in yourself for a successful future. That's something that you do for you, right? There are benefits in having a clear purpose and vision for your life. You've got to sit down and figure this thing out. You got to sit down and balance out your dreams. Figure out how you're going to take care of yourself. Whether your dreams should be like a destination or your dreams a guide. And I feel like that's a question, actually. Are your dreams a destination or are your dreams a guide? Ask yourself that question and answer that honestly. I feel like it's important for us to do that, you know? Use your senses here. Use them. I told you what their mission was. It was common sense. I see that I've got Mary Fonda Hines making a comment here. She says, common sense is seeing things as they are and doing things as they ought to be. Okay, she done gave us a little quote from Harriet Beecher Stowe, and that is very true. I'll read that again. Common sense is seeing things as they are and doing things as they ought be. Thank you for sharing that quote with us. Appreciate that. I see Miss Tori here in the building with Keep the Faith with Tori. She says, my high value definition has nothing to do with money. Yeah, high value can't just be about money. We've got this thing confused. What are your values? What is high on your value list? You should have a list. You absolutely should have the things that you want. That's why I think people are not understanding the level of this conversation. No one's telling you what you should want and how you should want it, but it shouldn't be one particular thing. And certainly, it cannot just be money. Absolutely not. I see we've got Fanika George in the building saying hello to everybody. How you doing, lady? Good to have you here. Yes, thank you for joining us in this conversation. You got to cultivate some high-value skills, guys. You have to, such as networking. You got to have some emotional intelligence. You got to have strong communication skills. Those are values. You got to find some mentors and seek out opportunities for growth and development. That should be within your value system. That's something that you should value. You're going to need that. You need mentors and people around you who are going to help make you stay motivated, help you stay focused on your goals. The value of taking risks, that's a value. You got to be able to take risks and be open to new experiences. Are you doing that out here? You should be. I want us to talk about some of the practical tips and strategies that we use to achieve our dreams as we are pursuing our passions. What are you doing out here? You got to ask yourself these questions. Is your dream a destination or is it a guide? Now, the reason why I ask that, and I ask it in that particular way for a reason. There's a reason why I ask that. Because it's really important to have your dreams serve as a guide rather than a destination, because let's face it, our dreams can change. They can even evolve, they evolve over time. So if you are so focused on achieving a specific end goal, you might miss out on some other opportunities or experiences that could lead you down a different path that will actually be equally or even more fulfilling. But if you're allowing your dream to be a guide, that makes a little more sense. That allows you to remain open to whatever experiences are going to come your way or whatever experience you meet on that way. You've got more opportunities that might align with your values, your aspirations, and you're still pursuing an overall vision for your life, right? That can lead to a more flexible and adaptive approach to achieving your goals, which ultimately makes for more fulfilling and a more rewarding journey. You dig it? That's what you got to do. You got to have that value. You got to have your dreams. You've got to kind of have an idea of a path that you want to take, but at the same time, don't just be so focused on that end goal that you don't have any flexibility, that you can't bend. Because sometimes our dreams lead us to a path and there's some things that we didn't think about, and it works out better for us. Let's talk about high value skills. High value skills that can be both life and workplace valued skills, right? What are some of those skills? You're going to need these. These are some of the skills that you will need. So stop talking about high value and thinking about money. Y'all let this Kevin Samuels thing take you somewhere with a misunderstanding. We've got this Ebony K. Williams situation going on with a whole misunderstanding. These people are speaking for themselves. They're sharing information. And one thing I do want you guys to keep in mind, we're watching stuff online. We're listening to people online. And because it's so readily available, and most of the times it's in the palm of our hands, So you feel so connected, but don't feel so connected that you are feeling and taking on uh, other people's values. No, that's not what you should be doing. Ebony K. Williams' values cannot be your values. Kevin Samuels' values cannot be your values. You've got to understand that this thing is still entertainment. See, media has changed so much. I know there was a time when we sat in front of the television or we turned on the radio, and there was a certain time when we saw the news, it came on the air and then it went off. Then we went into a cycle of cable news television, and then news just kept recycling. It became a 24-hour cycle. And so just so much information was coming to us. And then we've come here to the internet, the good old internet, right? And we out here in these internet streets thinking that we know everything about everybody. Everything that someone says has become your truth, and it is not. You still have to look at that some of these people are out here to make money. A lot of this is entertainment. Yes, there are people who want to share information. Yes, it's here. There's a lot of things that you can learn, educational wise, entertainment wise. However, you choose to use the internet is up to you. You get to decide what is valuable to you, but don't take on other people's value. Okay? Get some high value skills, right? I see Keep the Faith with Tori. She says, absolutely, their values, right? Tori, see, that's what happens. We just feel so connected that anytime someone says something and it kind of just like touch your heartstring or just kind of make a light bulb go off or whatever it is, however you feel like you're connecting with this person and you're taking it on. No, that's not your life. That's not your lifestyle situation. You do not have the same circumstances going on. So you shouldn't be taking this information to heart like that. It's okay to hear. It's okay to hear where a person is coming from. That just gives you an idea of who they are and what their values are. And then you get to make a decision of whether or not this is a person you want to continue to listen to. If this is a person that you want to follow, if this is a person's book that you want to buy, or if this is a person's show that you want to watch, is this person bringing you information? And I don't see anything wrong with it because it's their values. And you can still learn something from it. But don't take this thing too far. You guys are taking it too far, you know? Let's talk about some high value skills. What do you guys think are some high value skills? You can start putting them in the chat. Like, what are things that are valuable to you that you know is a high value skill? I'm going to start out here with you. I'm going to start out communication skills. Communication skills, the ability to effectively communicate with others, both verbally and in writing. All types of ways. You've got to have those communication skills. You will need them in your life, in your personal life, in your family life, in your work life. That's why I said verbally and in writing. Another high value skill is emotional intelligence, the ability to understand and manage your own emotions and those of others. You've got to be able to weigh that and look at these situations. You need emotional intelligence. That's a high value skill. That should be on your list. I see Keep the Faith Victoria. She said, people will go with what's popular. I will stand on my beliefs even if I'm standing alone. Absolutely. You have to. That's what we're out here to do. You got to stand up for what you believe in. You know? I see we've got Les Eccles in the building. How you doing, Les? Always good to have you in the building. He said communication skills are key. The sad part is some don't have it and never will. We have to know what we don't do well. You're right, man. You're right. Because we don't do everything well. You know, you've got to know your shortcomings. You got to know them. And if you're not willing to work at them, then, listen, you got to find somebody else who can do it. You either got to pay somebody else to do it or you got to figure out how to do it. Work on that. Work on your skills. I see Keep the Faith with Tori. She said, great listener, understanding, kindness, integrity, great character. Those are some things that she values. Those are some high value skills. I like that. I like every last one of those. I can't say anything about that one. I got to tell you. Leadership skills. Leadership skills. That's a high value skill. The ability to lead and inspire others to achieve a common goal. Do you have leadership skills? Do you recognize good leadership skills? You have to. So that when you're hearing these things out here, you know who you need to listen to. You can follow that person. You got to understand that. We're talking about high value skills because people are out here talking about high value man, high value woman, high value this, and they're talking about money. They're talking about just money. No, we want you to have high value skills. As a matter of fact, I read a post on Facebook that Sue Ham posted, and as you guys know, she does so many things. Let's give it up for Sue Ham. She's also into real estate. She's a councilwoman over in King Street, Williamsburg County. But she made a post and she said she inspired 3 people to get their contractor's license here in South Carolina. And I was like, hey, that is value. Because see, now these people have skills that pay bills. Do your skills pay bills? That's value. That's valuable. That should be your high value. It doesn't have anything to do with what anyone else has to say about it. Are you able to feed yourself, to feed your family? I see Keep the Faith with Tori. She says, Sue Ham, baby. Yeah, it's Sue Ham, baby. She does that. Absolutely, she does. I also see Mary Fonda Hines. She says integrity, empathy, open-mindedness, and reliability. Hey, all of those are good values. I agree with you there. Those are very, very, very good values to have. I put those high. Those should definitely be high on the list. I see we got a comment here from Les Eccles. He said, the ability to be objective. Our opinions and values are great, but are they based in facts and reality or just your own realities? There you go. And that's what it is. And that is the difference. Hear what the man is saying now. He said, the ability to be objective. That's a really good high value skill. It is. But he says our opinions and values are great, but are they based in facts and reality or just our own realities? Because if that's the case, you're just talking about how you feel. And there's nothing wrong with feeling how you want to feel. It really isn't. Feel that. But nobody else has to cling to that. That's nobody else's truth. That's just yours. And I guess that's the thing here with social media. That's the thing with everybody being able to have a platform. And I'm gonna tell you something. I encourage people to have a platform. I really do. But there certainly is a difference in being a journalist and being responsible and being a social media influencer. There is. You can have the skills, but do you have the background? Do you have the skills? Do you have the background? Or are you just out here like everybody else because you can buy a microphone, because you've got internet service, and you just out here spilling it all just based on your feelings? Now there are many routes to entertainment. There really is, and that's the beautiful thing about entertainment. You know people who have gone to school, who have studied theater, who take acting classes. There's many different entry points. But the bottom line is this: however you choose to enter, you have to take it serious. You are still going to have to do some homework. You still got to do the work. It still has to be real. You can start before you're ready. You can really suck and start before you're ready. But if you do the homework and you put in the work, you can get better. You can become credible. That's the beautiful thing about putting in the work, you know? So it becomes about not just wanting to hear yourself. If you just want to hear yourself, then hey, just sit down and talk to yourself. Talk to your phone, record it on your phone, but you don't have to go live. You really don't. I got to tell you that. You don't. Do the work, people. Do the work. You can have a podcast. You do have a voice. You do have an opinion. But if you're going to be out here talking to people, make it valuable. Please make it valuable. I see Les Eccles has a comment here. He said, one example, when hiring and giving someone an opportunity who is a different faith, color, etc., we have to be objective, or we will end up overlooking someone because they are different religion or culture. Absolutely. We have to. You've got to be objective. Everybody's not going to think like us. They're not going to be from the same faith, from the same background, and they don't have to be. They don't. We need to know if they can get the job done. That's what we need to know. We need to know if they're going to be important to the team, if they're going to make an impact with the team. I appreciate that comment. Keep the faith with Tori. She said, that's good, Les. In fact, both of your comments, your last two comments are really good, man. High value skills. You got to have them both in your life and in the workplace. We're talking about some things and examples of what high value skills should be. Time management and organizational skills. Those are good high value skills. You've got to have the ability to prioritize your tasks and manage your time effectively. You have to. You've got to be able to balance that. People are talking about their work and their life balance. Well, that's where that comes in. You've got to be organized, particularly if you're on your job. You've got to have that organizational skills. Time management skills are important. You know that. You might have a hobby that you really like. You got to know how you're going to manage your time between your family, your hobby, and your work life. Very key skills that you got to have. Les also says the lack of objectivity has happened for hundreds of years. Frankly, that's why Black people are behind now. They were in space while we were being Jim Crowed. That's deep, y'all. That is a truth. That is a truth. The lack of objectivity is really why we're in the situations that we are right here today. Some of the same things that we have been going through, some of the same issues and problems and anything that you want to talk about as it relates to race and lack of opportunities for certain communities and cultures of people, it is because people are not being objective. They're not thinking about, can this person get the job done? Are they able to overlook a person's religion or their faith or the color of their skin and be objective enough to say that this person needs to be a part of this team? This person has some value to bring here. That's what it is. Okay? Time management is what I was talking about right before that comment. Time management. Les says, be on time. Be on time. It's not rocket science. Be on time. You got to be on time. If you're supposed to be at work at 9 o'clock, that does not mean pulling into the parking lot at 9 o'clock. You're supposed to be working at 9 o'clock. If you have a meeting and you set up a meeting with someone and you said, we're going to meet at 10, you need to be there at 10 o'clock. not sending them a text and telling them that you're on your way. That's not how it works. I do not like when people are late. That is one, listen, one of my high value skills is definitely being on time. One of my high pet peeves is someone who's late. I don't like it. I don't like it. Les says we can be late sometimes, but not every day for everything. No, you shouldn't be. Don't be that person that everybody knows that you're going to be late. They already know. They already expect you to be late. Being on time would really probably, excuse me, it would be a surprise and it would be out of your character. It shouldn't be out of your character to do the right thing. It shouldn't be. I see Keep the Faith with Tori. She says, listen, I can't stand my time to be wasted. That's exactly what I'm saying. I don't like it. I give people an opportunity to set a time that is going to be convenient for them. We're going to agree on this time. If we have to go back and forth on the time, I don't mind that, just so that I know that this time is a time that works for you. So if you set that time, I need you to make sure that you're there for that time. Keep the Faith Tori also says time is a commodity. We can't get back. We can't. We cannot. Nobody can give me any time back. So don't be out here wasting people's time. Know that time management is definitely a high value skill. Here's another one. Networking skills. Networking. You've got to be able to build and maintain professional relationships. That's a high value skill, guys. These are things that we should be talking about when we're talking about high value. Networking skills. Are you able to build and network with people? How are you maintaining and beginning professional relationships? Are people seeing you that way? Are you on time when you meet with them? Do you have organizational skills? What are your communication skills like? All of those kind of play in with those networking skills, and that's of high value. And this kind of fits in with what Les has been talking about here. And I have this down as adaptability and flexibility. Those are high value skills. You've got to be able to adjust to new situations. You got to be open to change. You do. Because you could have a plan for something, but as life goes, as some things go, as you continue in a project, sometimes you start out and the project takes a life of itself. The goal that you set begins to take a life of itself. So you've got to be able to adapt to that. You've got to have some type of flexibility. So the ability to adjust to new situations or to be able to be open to change, that's a high value skill. Okay. Another high value skill, and I'm going to stand on this, and I tell this to my kids, I tell this to mentees, I tell this to myself, okay? Continuous learning and self-improvement. Those are high value skills. I always want to learn something new. There's something new to be learned because we don't know everything. The desire to constantly learn and develop new skills, that's a high value skill. That means you want more. You want more. Having these high value skills that we're here talking about is really, really important. These are skills that are going to help you excel in your personal and your professional life. Okay? That's why we're sharing them here with you. That's why we're talking about it. Because I don't feel like people are having the right conversation around high value. They're just not. We see Les here has a comment. There is no reason to not network. And check this. With Facebook, Zoom, LinkedIn, Clubhouse, etc., you don't even have to do it in person anymore. Lord have mercy. You understand what I'm saying? This is why we need to have high value conversations. You understand me? This is why admission for this episode was common sense. Listen, You're using this media, you're using this social media. Well, use it the right way. Make it work for you. I want to read Les' comment one more time. He says, there is no reason not to network. And check this with Facebook, Zoom, LinkedIn, Clubhouse, all of these things. You don't even have to do it in person anymore. You don't. You just make the connection, okay? Make that connection, which is why your communication skills need to be a high value skill, because you need to be able to do that both verbally and in writing, because you will have to make some type of initial contact. So the way that you approach that person with your writing is going to be important. So you see how valuable of a skill your communication and writing skills are. High value. High value. Thanks for that comment, Les. People needed to hear that. They're not using these things right. They're only using it to get in people's business, or to hear some type of gossip, or to be in a conversation that doesn't even have anything to do with their life, that is not going to improve their life. And we want to change that up some. Thank you for it. All right. I see Craig Boatwright in the building. How you doing, man? Good afternoon. Happy Monday to you. It's Make Sense Monday. We here trying to make some things make sense, man. We got to make these things make sense. Craig says here, some may not like this, but being able to build relationships, having accountability, and being likable, those are high value skills, man. They are. People don't want to hear it, but being able to build relationships, being accountable, and being likable, they're important. Now, let me finish reading your comment. Will get you the job and promoted over someone who lacks relationship building skills, and they might can do the job better. Bottom line is, if no one likes you, your odds are you will not go very far. That's true. So you hear what he's saying here. So whether you like it or not, he's basically saying your ability to build relationships, your ability to be accountable and likable are important, because it can get you a job and get you promoted over someone who lacks those same skills, which are high value skills. Those are building skills. That's what he's saying. And even if they can do the job better than you can be promoted over that person because of those high value skills you have in that area. So the bottom line is this: if no one likes you, you're not going to go very far. Yeah, man. Whew, that's a mic drop too. I see Tori said, mic drop and bars for less. Yeah, strength on his comments. And let's give a mic drop here for Craig's comments as well. Very good comments, guys. I appreciate what you're saying here. Y'all hear these high value skills? And you in here arguing back and forth with people over what people's salaries are. And let me say this. Let me say this, since the conversation does or has been really relating to salary, it's not even really about salary. It's not, because think about it. Some people are talking about six-figure incomes, somebody making $100,000 or whatever the case may be. Listen, that's also going to be where you living. $100,000 might not go as far in many other cities. It just depends on where you live. That's not a lot of money for the cost of living in several big and major cities and states, for that matter. You're not doing anything living in California making six figures, making anywhere like 100 grand. Come on, you're not. Let's be real. Now, if you're somewhere in a smaller town or somewhere in the South, yeah, you can do something with that. You can. But also, even if you are making a higher salary, or you want to consider yourself making a high salary, whatever that number is for you, I really don't want to put numbers out here, because, like I said, it depends on where you're living, right? But it depends on how you're spending. It depends on what kind of debts you have, okay? So you could be making a high salary, but if you've got a lot of debts, if you don't know how to manage money, That's not valuable. You're not living a high value lifestyle. That's stressful. You can have a person who is making a minimum salary, who is fiscally responsible, who is going to be ready, who is going to have more cash available to them and credit than someone making salaries 2 and 3 times more than them. You know, I know this. I know this to be true. This is a lifestyle that I live. I've never had what people consider a high value job in terms of finance, but I've always been fiscally responsible. I've taken my time and I own things. I've managed my credit. I don't have like debts. Nothing is over my head like that. I've worked those things down. So I'm able to live. If I wanted to live, I could go work at Burger King and be just fine and maintain my life and have the things that I want. And I could still have more cash available to someone who's making 6 figures, who has high debt, who's not financially responsible. And I have an ease on my head in my life. So think about what you're saying when you're asking for someone to make a particular salary. Do you know what their debt is? Do you know what their spending habits are? You need to be thinking about that. Okay? I see Yolanda Green Light is in the building. How you doing, ma'am? Good to see you. Good afternoon and happy Monday to you. Also, we've got Craig Boat right here with another comment. He said, leaders build other leaders. When I got promoted, the people that let me understand this here. When I got promoted, the people that work for me, okay, I think I understand what's going on here. Sometimes there's little typos and sometimes I read kind of crazy too. You know, it happens. I see stuff up here scrolling and I'm trying to read fast. But here we go. Here's what he's saying. He says, leaders build other leaders. He says, when I got promoted, the people that work for me got promoted as well. Leaders build great teams. You can never do it by yourself. Pull others up. Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you for that comment. I see Keep the Faith Victorious. She said, Tanya, you see that your podcasts only attract high value men? That says a lot. Quality content. Well, I tell you what, respect, because I definitely value people who are thinkers, critical thinkers, leaders in the community. That is a value. So you're checking that. I check that out too. Respect. I see Miss Yolanda here. She says, great. I'm taking in the info. Yes, ma'am. We've got to share this information with each other. I mean, I'm looking at everyone having the high value conversations and I'm thinking about, just some of the younger generations just right up under us or right up under me, like in their 40s and their 30s, in their 20s, approaching those 30s. Every decade has lessons to be learned. And I just don't want them to get caught up in this. The conversation has just gotten out of hand. People really hadn't really focused on what we should be guiding these young people to understand to be value. You've got to know your value, but let's be reasonable. All of the things that we've been talking about here in this chat, that we've been discussing that we think are high value, such as, excuse me, communication skills, emotional intelligence, leadership skills, time management, organizational skills, networking skills, being able to be flexible, adaptability, continuing to learn, self-improvement. All of those skills are high value skills that can help you excel in your personal and your professional life. And they make you a valuable asset to any team or organization. And if you want to talk about value and you want to talk about the money aspect of it, if you have those things, you will have skills that will pay your bills. Now, I can't tell you whether it's going to be 5 digits, 6 digits, 7 digits. Your goal and your dream is going to be yours. You're going to have to work towards that. You have to continue to grow and develop. But I promise you, if you've got these high valued skills, you've got skills to pay bills. Okay? You've got them. I see Les here said Craig's comments can be a whole show. Yes, a whole show. I like that. We might have to have a conversation on that. You know what I'm saying? Craig also says, man, listen, not bragging, but when I was making six figures, my stress level was at an all-time high. No life balance. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you, thank you, thank you for sharing that. Let me do a little clap. Let me tell y'all something. When you think people are out here just like balling and like it's, they're making these high salaries, you think they just like sitting around like, it's easy going, like this is easy money to make. You think somebody just readily giving out six figures for salaries? Can you imagine the demand of work that has to be done? A lot of people don't even want to go to their regular part-time or even 8-hour shift. That's why I wanted to do this show. I wanted to get people, ease them through that. I said, okay, well, lunchtime is like the halfway point. We've halfway made it through the day. We can, kind of recalibrate, get ourselves into a good mood or back into a good mood so that we can make it through the workday, right? Some people can't even make it through a part-time half-day shift, but want to make six figures. It's not about the money. That's stress. That's what we're talking about. You've got to be able to manage your life, time management skills. Okay? If somebody's paying you six figures, believe me, they're getting some 7-figure hours of work out of you. Believe that. Believe that. I see Les Echo says, money ain't the answer, y'all. He got that in all caps. Let me say it loud. Money ain't the answer, y'all. Money ain't the answer. Don't you know that? You do know it. You know it. I ain't got to fuss at you. You know it. It's just that you allowed this whole thing in social media to just kind of take your attention. And that's what it does. That's what the algorithm does. The algorithm is not going to push conversations like this. It's not. This isn't for the money. This won't make me six figures. This won't. This won't even get me six figures in followers. I can't even get 1,000 people to subscribe to my YouTube channel. But you know what? I just said, okay, it's all right. No biggie. Whoever comes in, comes in. Whoever listens, listens. I got my people on Facebook. They listen. And some of the same people on Facebook have the conversation. Some of those same people don't take time to go over to YouTube and make a comment or go over to YouTube and subscribe just to get that number up. Because we do say that we want to have the conversations, but I don't know. I haven't figured that part out. And I've decided to not even try to figure it out. I'm just coming on here and I'm going to do what I do and share what I share, and rock out with the people who rocking out with me. You know what I'm saying? I see Keep the Faith with Tori here. She says, a show with Les and Craig at the same time. Lord have mercy. They dropping gems. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Absolutely. Miss Yolanda says, management is key. You got to manage that time. Manage is key. Yes, ma'am, it is. It absolutely is. And we've got to stay focused. We've got to stay motivated and we got to stay focused. Stay focused on your goals because, of course, they can be challenging. So we want to make sure that we have those values. We want to make sure that we stay focused because you need to keep your own goals in sight. Don't let these conversations online get you off track. You might need some visual reminders. You might need to do a vision board. You might need to list your goals. Some of those things can help you because it's going to allow you to keep everything kind of in the forefront of your mind. And break down your goals. Break them down. Break them down into something smaller. Make them manageable. Manageable tasks. This is something that's going to help you. Then you can achieve it. It'll be less overwhelming. And also celebrate your success along the way. Just like I said, okay, well, you know what? I want to celebrate, episode 49 here today because I challenged myself to do this. So I want to celebrate this success because I can't even believe I'm on episode 49. It seems like I just started, but it was about being consistent. So recognize and celebrate your progress as you make, your way towards those goals, no matter how small it is. Okay? And surround yourself with supportive people. Supportive people. Having a supportive network of family, friends, and mentors are going to help keep you motivated and are going to help keep you accountable. They are. I see we've got Malik Williams in the building. How you doing, Malik? Always, always good to have you here. Always. Ice Cube said, Malik says, Ice Cube once said, if he only had 1,000 fans, that is where his focus be. Changed my whole business. Listen, yes, it's going to change it, man. I got to tell you something. I looked at it like that too. I thought about, okay, should I be out here trying to chase a subscriber, chase a follower? No, no. And the whole point of the matter is the reason that it's really difficult, particularly for, Black content creators, and let's be honest, let's just kind of call this thing out. We're really being shadow banned. Our stuff is just not pushing the algorithm as much as other people's podcasts or other people's content. It's not. And then let's also be realistic about there's just, a way that people like receiving that gossipy, tea spilling type of information that they want to push in that algorithm and got everybody in this whole mind spin of thinking that as that's supposed to be valuable to us. And it's not. It's a false narrative that's being pushed. So that's why I know it's always important for us to just kind of don't even worry about those things. Just like you said, Malik, Ice Cube said, 1,000 fans, and that's who he's going to focus on. That's what you should focus on. That's what we're supposed to focus on, you know? See Craig Boat right here. He said, congratulations on 49 episodes. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate you coming in and joining us sometime in the conversation. You keep the chat lit. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. And we're talking about values. What is high value? We're talking about staying focused and motivated on our goals, our dreams, right? Got to stay focused on that. So we broken them down into smaller manageable tasks. We're celebrating our small wins, our success along the way. We are making sure that we're surrounding ourselves with a good network of people. And sometimes we've got to find inspiration, whether, believe it or not, whether that's listening to a podcast, whether that's reading books, whether that's attending events of related type of goals. You've got to find sources of inspiration that can help you stay motivated, things that are going to help you stay focused so that you can be around people who are builders, breathe in some of that air, breathe in, that air and be within that energy, be in the same room. You can't always just be locked up in your own space. Yeah, you got to read some books. Yes, you can listen to some podcasts, but you need to be out here with some live events. Now, of course, previous years, not so long ago, we weren't able to do some of these things, but we are now. So let's make sure that we're out here and we're supporting each other in those type of ways as well. I want you guys to stay organized. It's very, very easy to get all mixed up and to get off track if you do not have your stuff organized. Keep track of your progress. Keep track of your deadlines. And what are your priorities? You need to have priorities to help you stay focused and to help you stay on track. There's apps out here that can help you do that. There's artificial intelligence out here that can help you do that. And that's a topic for another conversation as well. I do want to talk a little bit about artificial intelligence. We're going to get into that. And the last thing I want to say, or the last little tip I feel like I want to put out here, and I'll read what you guys have to say, but I want you guys to stay positive. Yeah? You feel that? Stay positive. A positive mindset can help you overcome obstacles and stay motivated in the face of challenges. So stay positive, guys. That's what I want you to do. I see Keep It Faithful Tori here. She said, exactly. We have to be true to who we are. She's talking about us staying true to who we are and not really focusing on what other people are doing in their podcast to gain however many followers that they have. That's what it is. I see Malik Williams here says, so now I use it in my ads. I create a post that looks ratchet. Well, I mean, that's very smart. That's smart. You've got to know how to advertise. You've got to know how to draw people. I mean, that's what it is. It's still business. So you've got to decide how you want to do that. And you get the opportunity to do that. Malik also says high frequency wins. Absolutely. That good energy, high frequency energy. Don't be talking about some kind of high value salary or some kind of high value quote unquote job or whatever the case may be. You better think better than that. All right. I see Miss Yolanda here. She said, my words have power. Just speak it. You're right. You're right. You've got to speak it. You've got to put it into the atmosphere. Not only do you have to believe it, you've got to speak it. Right? In the beginning was the word. You know how it goes. It was spoken. Okay? The words were spoken. What'd they say? What'd he say? Let there be light. Mm-hmm. Spoke those words and then it was. All right, y'all. That's what I got for you. I'm glad you joined this conversation with me. Just remember to stay focused. Stay focused on your goals in this process. It's important to be patient. It's important that you be persistent. Okay? And by incorporating these tips in your daily routines, you will stay on track and you will achieve your goals over time. You will. You absolutely will. So it's time for us to head on out of here. Lunchtime is almost over. So before it's time for you to get back on that clock, you know what we need to do. We need to recalibrate. We need to kind of take a little breath. Breath work is important. Our health is very important. So take ourselves to a pretty calm state of mind, a good state of mind, and get back in there. Get back in there, energize, and do what you got to do so that you can get home and love on your people and love on yourself the way you need to. All right? Let's breathe it out, y'all. Let's breathe it out. Let's do some breath work. Inhale to the count of 4. Hold that a few seconds. Exhale. Hold that a few seconds. Inhale again. Hold a few seconds. Exhale. And hold that a few seconds. Inhale one more time. Hold a few seconds. And exhale. Yeah. Now, don't you feel great? I feel great. I appreciate you guys. And if nobody gave you a smile today, if nobody smiled today, you just close your eyes and give yourself a big smile and see how that feels for you. Right? Y'all be great out here. That's what we do. One love, y'all.